You guys might be familiar with Positech Games, the guys behind gratuitous space battles among other things, and the brains behind the operation. Cliff Harris has announced development of Democracy 3 Africa. Now it is a full-on reimagining of the political strategy game Democracy 3, but will be standalone so you won't need the original game to play it. Now it's going to have new artwork and music and obviously a whole new set of events and dilemmas relevant to the continent of Africa and the diverse set of countries within it. The countries you can govern are Nigeria, Egypt, South Africa, Kenya, Ghana, Zambia, Senegal, Tunisia, Botswana and Mauritius. It has been given a rough release date of Q1 2016 on both PC and Mac and will be mostly designed by Jeff Sheen from Stargazy. Now some of you might be wondering, why did he choose Africa? It's a little unusual. And he said, quote, "When I told some friends about it, they said, why Africa? Who is interested in African politics?" And that's kind of the point. In the West, we tend to think of Africa as either the target of charity fundraising concerns or somewhere to go on a safari. We never think about the African economies or African industry or exports. Let's not forget Africa is home to 1 billion people. Now naturally across the many countries there are numerous problems, melting pot if you will, and melting pot of opportunities as well, including in some cases intense corruption and very low levels of infrastructure. And according to Cliff, it all makes for a, quote, fascinating experiment in political strategy. And apparently Democracy 3 was successful enough for him to take a bit of a risk on what he calls, quote, a version of the game that at first glance might not make commercial sense. Plus, he continued, "When do you ever see Africa in a video game? I have no memories of it ever being anything but a destination where pirate bases or criminal gangs roam. Gaming seems to have a very distorted view of Africa, just like Hollywood does. I'm under no illusions that this game will sell many copies in Africa. The gaming market is tiny, but I think it still makes sense because it's such an interesting setting for a strategy game." So there you have it. It all does sound rather interesting. Now there are of course a fair few games set in Africa, but a lot of them fall under that banner which he described, where there's pirate bases and criminal gangs. And there's not many strategy ones set there that I can think of at least, and so I think this is going to be an interesting one. And looking at responses, a lot of fans seem to be keen to see where he's going with this. Now he wrote a lot about this on his blog, and I will link the source in the description below if you wish to give it a read, and I suggest you do if you're even slightly interested in the development. For now, I'd love to hear your thoughts, but thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.